Right, let's get started with the mission that the previous missions text told us about. And of course, it's the exact same bit of text we've already read. I'm pretty sure the guys in Japan were actually pretty careful and tried their best to be on the mark with each of the little bits of text they scrolled across, but again, it feels like the localization team for the expansion dropped the ball in a few areas. It could have been a lot worse, but it just lacks the polish. It's possibly because someone down the line thought, who's gonna care about an expansion on a console game? Anyway, let's get this battle started and try not to be distracted that Magawichi is fighting for the side he fought against in the historical battle. Part of me wants to be disappointed we didn't get a special cutscene for this mission, but at the same time, what we've gotten so far was already so far above my expectations that I'm still kind of blown away. Not really a fan of the music for this mission, but I can certainly say this doesn't look like anywhere we've been before in the main game. Okay, as far as I can tell, Suenoki Ikeda is another person like the Mino 3 that didn't really make too much of an impact. He was a bigger figure than them, however, since he was daimyo for the Ikeda clan and served under both Nobunaga and Hideyoshi. Considering how active he was, I can't help thinking he could have actually been a good addition to the series. Sure, he wasn't one of the major players, but he fought for about 2.5 decades and saw quite a few of the notable events of his time. That's certainly better than what Ranmaru actually ended up seeing in his history. Anyway, let's see how Tadakatsu and his daughter fare against us. Okay, can already tell they didn't make Tadakatsu the terrifying monster that he's gonna become once the next game comes out. He and Ina are both still higher level threats than the generic users, but he isn't a downright overwhelming force, and I'd rather not let them push forward if I can help it. Oh, you did well for an archer who tried to get into melee combat. Not looking forward to playing as her because of that. Sure, I get that part of the way the characters show their personalities in these kinds of games is in their weapons and movesets. This is a melee-focused combat system. Magawichi can afford to get into brawls despite using a gun, since when his gun's out of ammo, it's effectively a heavy spear. Especially if you attach a bayonet, but a bow? Too much bend to really be an effective staff. And speaking of bend, holy shit, our army is just getting rolled over while I'm too busy with Tadakatsu over here. Plenty of unfoolish people died before and during this battle, Tadakatsu. Don't insult those who lost their lives thinking they were about to bring the unification Japan has been desperate for. Hell, if it wasn't for Nobunaga, then neither Ieyasu nor Hideyoshi would have been able to get this far.
What's up?
I know, I should probably focus on the objectives the game outright gave us. I just can't help trying to stop the enemy whenever they send an officer ahead on any of the flanks, though. Especially since our own officers are completely incapable of holding their own against the bastards. Hopefully, Samurai Warriors 2 will be able to improve on the overall flow of battles, so it's easier to imagine that the player character isn't essentially alone. Oh, you've been faltering since the start of this battle, which is why I'm trying to do everyone's job at once. So many commanders in this battle that have seen a hell of a lot of action, but ended up fading into the background regardless of their accomplishments. Really wish the game could do more to make each named character stand out even more, even if they aren't all that important to give a full campaign to. But there's only so much room they could store assets in this game and in future games. Not to mention, it would probably be a bit of a time sink to try to make absolutely every named character in the period look and move uniquely, when you only really need to focus on the ones that the story is actually going to follow. Not too sure what the point is going to be occupying this castle when the enemy is sweeping right through our main camp, but you're the boss. Now that we've cleared the castle, let's help out the left flank. Dear God, even without Tadakatsu and Ina, the enemy is just swarming all over. Well, it's the last battle of this campaign. The Tokugawa will establish their shogunate regardless of defeat here. And at the very least, I'm sure the Koreans would have preferred that the more isolationist Tokugawa gained control rather than the ambitious Toyotomi in this battle. Well, I certainly appreciate the reinforcements after everyone we've lost so far. And of course, we're struggling on the right flank as well. Should I be worried about Hanzo popping up at some point in all this? Because he is the only Tokugawa officer I can't account for. And when you can't account for the enemy ninja, things typically start going very wrong. Seems the only enemy officers left are the ones in their camp. Hopefully us clearing out the rest means the rest of our army is at least gonna try charging at the bastards. Hanzo. Nice to see you were playing bodyguard instead of doing anything to make the main battle more difficult. Well, at least the expansion didn't give you the ridiculous cannon attached to a spear just yet. I guess the game designers were saving that bit of ridiculousness for when he becomes a player character. Just like they haven't given Nagamasa his lance just yet. And dear God, part of Hideyoshi's problem was the fact that he ruled while Ieyasu was still alive. If he'd been killed after this battle, then maybe Hideyoshi's family wouldn't have been slaughtered, and we'd have seen how long Toyotomi could have lasted with the systems Hideyoshi had put into place before he died, but that's a what-if that we're never gonna see here. Oh, don't worry, Hanzo. You might be losing this battle, but your lord will still win the whole country. Okay, where the hell did Nobukatsu come from? Not that he's gonna change the course of this fight, just that I wish I'd known about another enemy officer sitting around in their camp when I charged in here. Hey, if you wanted some glory, you'd have joined in this fight from the start when things were looking especially bad for us, not when the tide was turning in our favor. And that does it. We're done with Hideyoshi for this game. We just need to see his ending cutscene, then it's on to Yoshimoto, who is probably going to be portrayed as a joke character. And once again, we gain a strong weapon just as I'm done with a given character. Though I suppose it would make future playthroughs on harder difficulties in this game easier for me. Yeah, every Hideyoshi campaign acts like the moment he gained power, everything was paradise. Not that I think the idea itself is terrible in terms of storytelling, it actually works rather well. I just take issue with the fact that the game designers decided to have this specific character, who shares a name and many of the same accomplishments as the man in history who did some horrific crap. And I'm sorry, but Yukimura and Masamune had nothing to do with this campaign. What are they even doing here?